Okay, good morning. We'll get started the way we always do, taking a comfortable seat. Your sitting bones can root down, your spine can rise, and your head can float right over your spine. Just close your eyes, feel your breath, breathing through your nose if you can. Gently expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. Lining up with your breath. And then bring your hands in front of your heart, and we'll begin with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Bow your head to your heart, lift your eyes, and let's do some nice shoulder rolls, just up and back. Today, I really want to focus on rooting down and rising up and keeping the head right up over the top of your spine. So even while you're doing the shoulder rolls, think about a long spine and your head up over your spine. Let's draw the shoulders up, let them slide down the back, and then hold on to the chair or the floor with your left hand. Inhale the right arm up and get really tall. So you root first, your feet, your sitting bones, get tall on both sides, and then exhale to the side and make sure your head is kind of lined up with your arm and your spine. It's not like cranked over to the side. It's an extension of your spine, and you're just breathing into that whole side, staying long on both sides. Inhale back up. And we'll switch sides. So let's line up, shoulders come up, shoulder blades slide down the back, root down. Inhale the other arm up, get tall and root down and exhale over. Breathe into that side, keeping your head as an extension of your spine. Inhale back up. And then let's just warm up the legs a little bit. Take your right leg forward. You can do this on the floor or in the chair, and you inhale it out to the side. Turn the toes toward the midline, come back in. Inhale. Drag your foot out on the baby toe side of the foot. Exhale, turn it over, drag it back in. Inhale out. Exhale back in. One more. And back up to center and line up and take the left leg forward, point the toes, turn the foot out. So you're on the baby toe side of the foot. Inhale out, roll it over to the big toe side, drag it back in. And inhale out, exhale back in. Inhale, exhale. Warming up the hip joint, a little different rotation of the leg. And then come back to center. If you have on shoes and socks and you can bear it apart with them, now would be a good time. And we can do some standing exercises. So first step is the basic mountain pose, Tadasana. Your hips, knees, bottom of the second toe are all lined up. In the four corners of the foot, behind the big toe mound, you root down, inner heel root down, behind the baby toe root down, outer heel root down. So your legs are strong, they're pressing it your feet, the four corners of the feet are pressing down, your arches are lifting up. Then you line up your whole spine on top of that. So you're rooting so you can rise. And then take your hands to your shoulders. Inhale out, making sure your head is right up over your spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Open. Inhale. The last one, let's hold. So root through your feet, lift your arches, lift your heart. You can do a baby back bend, making sure your head is an extension that's not jacked back, just a nice extension. And release. Okay, and then we can warm up the legs. And again, we want the head like right in line with the spine, so don't drag it forward. So we're gonna, you can either have your toes forward, your toes and knees forward, or out to the side, just so they're lined up. Weight in your heels. We're gonna exhale down, inhale back up. Exhale, your knees are behind your ankles, not in front of them. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and come back up. Okay. And so let's do the knee to nose pose. We'll start standing, and then if you want to get on the mat, you can. So this is really good for the core, the hip flexors. So stand up tall. You want your ears like in line with your shoulders. We're gonna inhale the right leg back. Exhale, you can fold in. Inhale, stretch open. Exhale in. Inhale, exhale. And then let's hold the last one. Hold the foot back. Right foot's back. Inhale the right arm up. And now you're kind of rooting down and rising up and drawing to the midline. And come back down. Line up. And then we're going to inhale the left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch open. Exhale, knee to nose. And last one, hold it back. Draw your right arm up. Root down and stretch open. And come back to center. And then you can repeat that with the chair, or we'll go to hands and knees. So come down to hands and knees. And inhale the right leg back. Exhale in. Inhale. You can draw it up for more challenge. Leg off the ground or toes on the ground, doesn't matter. And the last one, toes on the ground for starters. Line up. Inhale, the left arm up. Experiment with the right leg up. Draw to midline. And head is still in line with your spine. It's not drooping or looking up. And release. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee towards your nose. Inhale, open. Exhale in. Inhale. Inhale. Okay, last one, hold. Toes on the ground first. Line up. Inhale the right arm up. And then you can experiment with your balance. Drawing to the midline. Head is lined up with the spine. You're extending You draw into the midline, you extend out through your leg and your hand and your head, and breathe, and come back. If you're standing, you can do down dog. If you're on the mat, you can go back into child's pose. And now we'll do, oh, I forgot the fire hydrant pose. So if you're standing, okay, if you're on the mat, you're gonna take your leg like a dog, fire hydrant, inhale out and back in. And keep doing that. And if you're standing, you're gonna hold on and just take your leg out like this and inhale back. And exhale. And then line up and switch sides. Inhale out, exhale back in. Working the hips. Okay. And if you're on the mat and you want to stay on the mat for sun salutations, you can do that. I'm going to do sun salutations at the chair first, and then demonstrating a modified version on the mat. Okay. So you want your chair secure and facing you if you've got the chair. And we line up in mountain pose, Tadasana. Head floating right up over your spine, feet rooting down, arches rooting up, tailbone rooting down, heart lifting up. Inhale, up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale, rooting down and rising up. Focusing on your heart, building heat in your heart. Inhale, up. And exhale, over. And bend the right leg, take the left leg back. Stretch open into a lunge. You can kind of draw the chair back so you can draw your heart forward, and you really want your head an extension of your spine. You don't want it lifting up, you don't want it cranking up. Extension of your spine. Then we're going to step back into downward facing dog. Arms are straight, shoulders on the back. You can bend your knees. And here, you want your ears right between your arms, not down or up. And then you can inhale forward to plank, drawing your shoulder blades onto the back, drawing your heart through, extending up a little bit, and exhale back to downward facing dog. And bring the left foot forward into lunge, draw your heart forward, and step forward. And now I'm going to demonstrate this on the mat, but if you do it with the chair, just continue doing it that way. So we're going to inhale up, exhale back to your heart, inhale up, exhale back to your heart, inhale up, exhale, just go halfway over, and then step back into lunge. And with the lunge, I really like the chair because you can really extend your head. If the lunge, like I have to leave my fingers long so I can stretch open. You don't want your head down here and you don't want your head up there and you don't want to be like this. So this is, and then take your hands down. You step back into downward facing dog. I like to bend the knees. Weights in your knuckles, not in your wrists. And then you come forward to plank, and you can either do a full plank, and again, your head's like an extension of your spine, or you can bring the knees down. And then we're not doing chaturanga here. We're just going to stretch open and exhale back into downward facing dog. And then you bring your left knee forward, so you can help that through, or you can go to all fours to do it. And then you stretch open into your lunge. And then step forward and inhale back up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale and exhale. And let's do one more set. Just focusing on your breath and lining up your spine with your breath. So we're going to exhale over. Draw the right leg back to lunge. Step back into downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Stretch open. Let's see, which leg are we doing? The right leg forward, left leg back, stretch open. Step forward. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. And then just hold your hands in front of your heart, root down through your feet. You can close your eyes if you feel steady. And just line yourself up. Root down first through the feet. Lift the arches. Feel your breath. Belly expands on the inhale. Diaphragm reaches down. Exhale. Get a little taller. Just root through your feet. Draw your belly and diaphragm in and up. Just get a little taller. And release. Okay, so now we can do our standing poses. You may want a chair at the end of your mat. So we'll start with Warrior Two. You face the long edge of your mat. Turn your right toes out, left toes in. A line from your heel would intersect your back instep. And then draw the shoulders up and back. Pull the arms out. Exhale the knee down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Making sure your knee tracks directly toward that second toe, but doesn't go beyond your ankle. And now we're going to hold. Root through your back foot, root through your front foot. Stretch your arms open. Look out over your front fingers. Feel your breath. Make sure you can feel the back edge of your foot, your left foot rooting down. And just hold as long as your breath feels good. And then straighten that leg, parallel your feet, and bring them back together. And take a breath. And then we'll step wide for the other side. Turn your left toes out, right toes in a little bit. Wide enough stance so that your knee doesn't go past your ankle. Exhale down, and let's inhale the arms up and back. Stretch the arms open. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. And then we're going to hold it and really feel your feet rooting down, your arches lifting up. Draw your arms out. Draw your shoulder blades onto the back. Feel your breath. Warrior Two. Virabhadrasana 2. And then straighten your knee and come back in. Okay. And then for triangle pose, if you have a wall, very hard to find a free wall in a house, but this is an interesting way to test whether you're lined up. You got to keep your feet out a little bit from the wall and then see if you can get your head right up over your spine. And for warrior, for the triangle pose, this really keeps you honest if you try against a wall. Either way is fine. So we start with warrior 2 stance. Turn the right feet out. So if you're at the wall, you got to leave a little room for your butt, so your feet are. And then you, let's just take the hands to the waist, root up tall, and then root down through your feet. Both legs are straight but not locked. And then you come down toward the chair or your foot up against the wall. And you can raise the top arm if it feels good. And breathe into that, rooting through your feet and stretching open. Looking up or looking down. Inhale back up. Bring your feet in. Come together. So the wall is just another way to kind of feel where you are in space. It actually makes the pose a little harder, I think. So we'll line up. Take the feet wide. Point your left toes. Right toes are in a little bit. Root down through your feet. Let's inhale the arms up to get really tall. Exhale out. Take your right hand to your hip and then stretch that hip back. Stretch both sides long. And if it feels good, draw the left arm up. I'm too far away from the wall here. Rooting down and then stretching in all directions. Root down and inhale back up. Bring your feet back together. Okay. And now we can practice tree pose. So you could use the wall or the chair. And the first step is a good Tadasana, good mountain pose. Feeling your feet rooting down, heart rising up, head really important, right in line with your spine. Then you're gonna root through your right foot, draw your left ankle, left heel to the ankle. If you get the full benefit of the pose here, or to the shin. Experiment with the arms. It could be out in cactus, up like a tree. Feel your feet rooting down, your arms stretching open, and your head floating right up over the trunk of your tree. And make sure that your standing leg is straight and not like bending out to the side. You want a nice straight trunk. And then bring the arms down, bring the knee forward, and release. Okay. So shake that side off. Do the other side. So good Tadasana, lining up, feeling your breath, rooting through your left foot, drawing the right foot first to the ankle, line up, feel your breath up and down, feel that four corners of the feet rooting into the floor, trying not to clench your toes, and you can draw your foot to the shin, draw the arms out or up, or swaying in the breeze. But feel your feet. Try not to clench your toes. That hurts your balance. And when you're ready, you can come down. Okay. Then we'll move on to the warrior one pose. So you have your hips and feet are square facing the front of your mat. Bring the right foot forward, the left foot back and out at an angle, and your hips are still square. So your feet are on parallel tracks. They're not right behind each other. And then we're gonna inhale the arms up, exhale the arms down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then you're gonna want your chair in front of you for the next step of Warrior One, which is Warrior Three. So hold on to the chair or a wall and lift the back leg. Try to keep your head an extension of your spine and come back up. Okay. And then the other side, demonstrate from the side this time. So your left leg is forward, your left leg, and your right leg is back. And we're gonna inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Let's inhale up and hold it, root through that back foot, stretch up through your heart. Don't let your back be crunched. You can keep everything in a nice line, long line, your spine, your head, your arms. And then, if you're ready for Warrior Three, you can hang on to the chair, lift up the back leg or not, experiment with your arms, and breathe into a long line, lining up to your breath and down. Okay. So let's do a standing Cobra pose, a standing back bend. You take your hands to your waist, line up in Tadasana. So you want your feet rooting down, your heart rising, tailbone rooting down. And then you draw your shoulders up and back, stretch your elbows back. Don't stick your belly out. Let all that energy go up into your heart space. And if you want to experiment more, you can draw one arm up and kind of stretch, trying to stretch open. Some of you will have more flexibility than me. Your head is an extension of your spine. You can stretch open. And the key is rooting down, and then inhale back up. And take a breath. Okay, so the other side, let's just line up in a standing Cobra again. So draw the shoulders up and back, root down through your feet, hands to the waist, draw the elbows back, really root through the four corners of the feet, lift up on the arches. Breathe up into a long spine, draw your elbows back so you can really stretch your heart open. The head can extend off the spine. You can inhale an arm up if the balance feels okay. Let your feet really root down so you can open up through your heart. And come back up. Okay. And then you can do that again standing, or you can try it at the edge of a chair. It's nice for Cobra. And those of you who want to get on the mat, we're going to get down on the mat. You might want to have your items for Savasana nearby. So we're going to get on the mat on our bellies, or else you can be standing or seated doing another Cobra pose. So here again, you want to line up so your head is not way down or way up. It's just an extension of your spine. Your legs are extended. Draw your shoulders up and back. You're going to inhale the head and shoulders up. And again, watch your head. Make sure it's just an extension of your spine. And if it feels good, you can draw your legs up and breathe to locust pose, Savasana. And release. And then let's try a variation on that. You can do the same pose over again, or get long, draw your shoulders up and back, extend your head. Inhale the arms and shoulders up. Now lift your left leg and inhale your right arm as far as feels good forward. And breathe and release. And if that pinches anything, back off. No pain. And then the other side, inhale the shoulders up and back. Inhale the heart up. Inhale the right leg up and the left arm up. Or you could be out in wherever feels good with your arm. And release. Wiggle your hips back and forth and press back into child's pose, or else if you're in the chair, you could step back into down dog. Just breathe into your back. And then come forward. And if you're staying on the floor, get onto your side and roll onto your back. Or in the chair, we'll do the hip stretch, either way. So if you're on the mat, you can bend your knees with your feet on the mat. Make sure your knees are parallel and not falling out to the side or falling in. If you're in the chair, make sure you're at the right height, your hips are above your knees. So we line up, take a breath, and then let's, both places you can draw your right knee in and extend it out, just holding your knee. Exhale in and out, in, out. And then the left leg, take your fingers around the knee and inhale up, or exhale up, sorry, inhale down, because we want that nice, drawing it in helps you get the air out of your belly, out of your, helps the breath. Exhale up, inhale down. And we'll line up, and so your knees are bent on the floor, and then you take your right knee up and then cross wherever you feel no pain, ankle over the top of the knee or over the shin over the knee or knee over the knee, and then draw the toes of your right foot apart and back to protect your knee, and sit up really tall, head right up over your shoulders. And then if you're on the floor, you can interlace your fingers underneath your left thigh and draw that in while you press your right knee away from you. as long as it doesn't hurt anything. Or you can take your knee and foot in your hands and just stir that leg around in the hip socket. It's exploring your mobility with your hip. And if you find a good place to stretch, get your spine nice and long, and then stretch. Breathe into the hip stretch. And release. Just take a breath and see what that did for you. And then we take the left knee, draw it in. If it feels good, cross the ankle over the knee. Draw the toes back and apart on your left foot. Sit up tall or lie down long on the mat. And then if you're on the mat, you can interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. Draw it towards you while you resist your ankle and press your knee away from your head. Your left knee away from your head. Or on the chair, we'll just hang on to the foot and the knee and stir. You can do this on the ground too. Just explore that hip joint. And if you find a place that feels like a good place to stretch, you can hold that up. Make sure your spine is long, your head's not forward. Your foot is still active with the toes spread. Hold a stretch and breathe into your hips. No knee pain. And release. And take a breath. And now we can set up for Savasana. So if you're in the chair, get as comfortable as you can. Go to a bed or a sofa. On the floor, you want probably a tiny support under your head so that your head can be an extension of your spine. And it really helps to have a little something just above your knees to, if you want to extend your legs, or I love to put my legs up in the chair. So when you're getting onto your back, you always get onto your side first so you don't strain your back. And then roll onto your back. So find a comfortable position. You can put a blanket over you for warmth. This is all about taking the time to be really comfortable. And then let your arms roll open, palms up, or you can rest your hands on your belly or even on your heart. Your feet flop open. And we just let it go. So take a big inhale. Open your mouth wide. Exhale. Another one. You can open up, even make a noise. Do one more. And then settle in. Weight of your bones. Succumbing to gravity. Muscles letting go. The hardest thing, the mind letting go. We come into our senses, into our body. Just feel your mouth. Release any tension in your jaw. Let your teeth be parted and the tongue heavy in the mouth. Notice your ears, any sounds in the distance or in the room or inside of you. Not thinking about the sounds, just noticing how your body picks up on the layers of sound. And feel your eyes letting go of the effort of seeing, looking, just letting your eyes sink into the socket. Area around your eyes is released, brow is smooth. Just to feel your eyes. Notice your nose, your breath. Each nostril may be different. Feel the temperature of the air, the gentle waves of your breath. And then turn your attention to your skin, your sense of touch, the weight of your body on the ground. The texture of your clothes, the temperature of the air. You can imagine your breath just gently breathing into your skin, just letting it soften, maybe even blurring the edges. Feeling your energy may extend beyond your skin. Feel the very subtle movement of your breath. Waves through your entire body. Almost liquid, rippling and softening through your body. Letting your mind release. Just feeling the results of your practice. No thinking necessary, no doing necessary. Releasing into the earth. And very gently start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing yourself back into your body, back into the room. Stretch. And if you're on the Your back, you can roll to your side, bend your knees. Letting your head be the last thing to leave the surface. Push up with your hands and arms. Come into a comfortable seated position. Ending the way we began. Feeling your sitting bones. Feeling your spine rising, your head floating up over your spine. And close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel your practice of yoga. And draw your hands in front of your heart, and we'll end with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.